What is good, Grizzlies? Hey, we have a week and a half to go. I'm so excited to kind of wrap this year up. Quick announcement, Algebra 1, your final exam, your final test is gonna be 1 week from today. You can take it on Thursday and Thursday only. More details to come next week. Algebra 2, you guys will have a final project with details to come next week. You'll have a whole week to do it. You got a final project. And what's cool about both of those activities is you can use any notes or homework or anything that we've done so far in these last 2 months. You'll have that with you to help you with the final project or final exam. Today's lesson should be real simple. It's gonna go in as quiz points, and it's talking about the key of the month, which is integrity. Let's take a look. You might have remembered at the beginning of the year, we briefly touched on integrity, where everyone in their right hand drew a capital V, and that stood for values. What did it stand for? Yeah, these are the things that are important in our lives. And what's cool about this is only you can answer that question. What is important to you? What do you value in your life? No one else can answer that question. Something else that's kind of cool is these can change from week to week, from year to year. Sometimes they never change at all. Sometimes what's important to you maybe never changes. So for example, when I was your age, I valued basketball, music, trying to hang out with girls, which I was pretty unsuccessful at, hanging out with my friends and my family as well. But now that I'm a little bit older, those values have changed. Some of those are different. Some of them didn't stay in my top 5. So today we're gonna think about a little bit what is important to us, especially right now with everything going on. What do you value in your life? On our left hand, we drew a capital B, and that stood for behaviors. So it's cool that we have these values and things that are important, but behaviors is also important. Like, what are our actions? What behaviors are showing that these are important to us? Because when we put those two things together, our values and our behaviors, when they line up perfectly, that's called integrity. That's someone who has integrity. They do what they say, and they say what they do. Take a Mission Hill student who says, you know what, I value my grades. I value my education. What type of behaviors or actions would show that their grades are important to them? You know, a couple of examples right off the top would be doing their assignments, completing every single assignment. Another one would be constant communication with the teacher to know if they're on the right track or if they're doing anything okay. And there's definitely some students that have been doing that, which is great. Sometimes a student will say, well, Mr. Woodman, I really value money, so you know what, I'm gonna steal as much of it as possible. Hey, Mr. Woodman, I really enjoy or value having a good time. So you know what I'm gonna do, my behavior is I'm gonna party my butt off. I'm gonna party as much as I possibly can. And that sounds like someone who has their values and behaviors lined up, but you're not quite aligned, you're not quite in integrity if your action or behavior is gonna harm yourself or possibly harm somebody else. So hopefully we understand that difference. Today, we're gonna take a look and think about what are the 5 things that are most important to us right now, and then what behaviors are we showing already that show that those things are important in our lives? How do we show that we are someone who has integrity? It'll look something like this. So your assignment for the key of the month, you can grab a piece of pencil and a paper and trace both of your hands. You can see I traced mine on the board exactly perfect, exactly the same size. No, I made it a little extra big because we're gonna fill those hands in with some things. As you can see here, one of them, we're gonna fill in our values. What are the 5 things that are important to us? And then what are the behaviors that show that these things are important in our life? So I'm gonna start real quick and just fill out the 5 most important things in my life right now. So today, right now, and this can change tomorrow or next week or next year, but today the top 5 things that are valuable in my life is my wife, Bianca. She's the most important person in my life, the person I have the most fun with, the person I can trust to tell anything. Number 2 is my brother, Gordon. He's the only person in my immediate family that I have left, and recently our relationship has gotten a lot better, which is really, really cool. Value him tons. My health. man, with the pandemic and everything that's going on right now, man, health is so important right now, and that's something that I'm thankful for and really value. And also my job, man, I'm so blessed that I still get to kind of do this distance learning with you guys and receive a paycheck. So many people are out of work right now. Being a teacher is something I really value at this moment. And then honesty, that's a quality I look for in people, and those are the type of people I like being around, even when being honest isn't maybe exactly what you want to hear. I like being around those type of people. So right now, this is my top 5. What are your top 5? What are the things that you value in your life? After you write those in, you'll come to the next hand and you'll write the behaviors. It could look something like this. So I'll give you one example. My wife, Bianca, she's the most important person in my life. And what actions would I be doing that would prove to you or show you that I really care about her? You know, I wouldn't have to say it. You could just see my actions. Well, one thing that I would do is I would tell her I love her every day. That would be something simple, because it's the truth. I'm in love with her. And if I tell her that all the time, man, the love language of words of affirmation, right? Telling her that I love her, telling her how great she is, telling her how good she looks, those are things that would be an action that would show how much I care about her. But I'll give a couple more. Do things that make her smile. So for example, before we go to bed, she always wants a glass of water out by her bedside. So if I get her a glass of water every night, that's just a small action that lets her know I really care about her and I'm thinking about her. Cooking a meal every once in a while. She's such a great cook and I'm not the best, but sometimes it's nice to give her a night off and maybe I'll cook and take care of dinner for the night. And you know what? That's easy to do because I love my wife. But it's not always easy to do because sometimes I have a bad day. And sometimes I feel tired and I don't feel like putting someone else in front of my own. So that's where the integrity part gets really interesting, because I value this woman so much. Even when I'm having a bad day, I do my best to still stay consistent and still do these things, even sometimes when I just don't feel like it. Does that make sense? And you know what? A lot of times I can fall short of doing that, but most of the time I do not. And that's what being a person of integrity means to me. Cool, now it's your turn. We got 2 blank hands. You'll get a point for each value that you put in there, up to 5, right? 5 fingers. And then for each one of those values, if you can write one action or behavior that shows that this is important to you, you'll get an additional point. So 10 quiz points, pretty simple, on the key of integrity. It's kind of cool to think about what's important to us right now. At the start of 2020, you might have had some things that were real important to you, and right now with everything going on in the world and this pandemic, maybe some of those things aren't as important as they used to be. So it's kind of cool to think about. You can put this paper up in your room, and it might be a good reminder to see, are these the behaviors that I'm showing? Am I doing these actions and these behaviors every day? Or am I doing them most of the time? Because if I am, I don't have to tell people what's important in my life. They'll just know I'm someone with integrity. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Details coming next Tuesday on your final exam and final project. Reach out to me if you have any questions, and we'll see you next time.